Welcome to the American Nephrology Nurses Association's 50th Anniversary Podcast Series. In this commemorative series, past presidents and other leaders of the American Nephrology Nurses Association will provide a rich history of the association itself and of nephrology nursing as a specialty nursing profession. The American Nephrology Nurses Association's 50th Anniversary Podcast Series is brought to you by the Nephrology Nursing Journal, the official journal of the American Nephrology Nurses Association. We are honored to present this episode, and we hope you enjoy these invaluable and enlightening nephrology nursing recollections.
Hi, my name is Norma Gomez. I'm a member of the Nephrology Nursing Journal Editorial Board and a past president of CNNe. Today it is my honor to interview Cindy Richards, who served as president of CNNe from 2015 to 2016. I want to thank you so much for taking time to talk to us today, Cindy.
It's my honor to be here and to talk to you this morning, Norma.
Great. Why don't we just start at the beginning? How did you begin your nephrology nursing career?
I started in nephrology nursing in 1987. I had a 1-year-old son, and at that time I worked in a hospital on an inpatient unit. And it wasn't uncommon in 1-2-week schedule for me to work all 3 shifts, days, evenings, and nights. And that was hard with a small child. And my husband had a coworker who worked in a dialysis unit, and Terry kept telling me, oh, you need to come and go to work with us over here in this dialysis unit. At that point, I really had a very rudimentary understanding of what dialysis even was. And so I said, well, let me think about it. And one day I was just glancing through the classified ads, because that was back in the day when we still had print newspapers. And I saw that this dialysis unit had a job opening. And the man who at that time was the head nurse was someone that I used to work with at the hospital where I was. And I thought, oh, I really respect this man. I could work with him. And so I called him up for an interview. And he said, Cindy, I was getting ready to offer this job to someone. But if you're interested, he said, I'll offer it to you right now. And I said, well, I'd really kind of like to come look around and talk to you a little bit before I commit to coming to work in this area that I don't know much about. And I did go interview and was offered the job, and that was in what used to be a BMA dialysis unit that's now FMC in Jackson, Mississippi, and I've been in nephrology ever since.
Wow, that's really interesting. Let's talk about your role as president of CNNe. What was the environment like with nephrology nursing in CNNe during your presidency?
Well, I feel like it was very similar as it is now. My presidency ended just 3 short years ago, so it hasn't been very long. Probably hasn't changed as much as it would have in some of our past presidents who served a longer time ago, like perhaps Leslie Dinwiddie or Caroline Counts. But it was still a time of trying to find qualified, dedicated, good nurses to come in and take care of our nephrology patients. Also a time of continuing changes of regulations with CMS and just trying to figure out how to do more with less, especially in a lot of adult dialysis units. You know, there's 1 RN to a pod of 10 or 12 or even sometimes 15 patients with technicians working with them. And so just trying to figure out how to provide the best care that we can to our patients with the resources that we have. You know, that's kind of in a nutshell, what things were like back during that time. Also within CNNe, back in, I think it was around 2008, when we had our last stock market crash, so to speak, was a time when a lot of things began to change in the medical nursing field as a whole. We started to see a drop-off in membership in nursing associations. We started to see a drop-off in what our vendors could provide to our nurses and our nursing organizations. And so that's been a bit of a challenge, and it continued to be a challenge during my presidency in 2015, 2016.
Yes, it's difficult to get nephrology nurses to become CNNe members and for them to realize all the benefits that CNNe has.
I so agree. And that is one of the things that we continued to work on both in my presidency and the subsequent years, was trying to work with our dialysis organizations, especially the larger organizations, with how could we partner with them to help them encourage their nurses to become part of our amazing association to help them grow their employees as well as grow their nurses. So it's been a challenge, but it's something that we've continued to work on and continue to work on to this day.
So what was the biggest advancement during your presidency, either in nephrology or nephrology nursing or even ANNA?
I feel like the biggest thing that especially ANNA achieved was being able to join with other nephrology associations across the country to help begin to start the National Dialysis Safety Initiative so that we could continue to improve the care and the safety of dialysis for our patients. But at the same time, I feel like it has improved and made things safer for our nursing staff as well. We also worked during that year on rebranding ANNA to try and attract new members and hopefully some of our younger nurses, and not necessarily younger in age, but, younger in their nephrology career so that we could try and increase our numbers in our association.
What do you see the future for ANNA and nephrology nursing?
I feel like we have an incredibly bright future. Not that we won't have some challenges. We'll continue to have challenges because there's going to continue to be changes in healthcare overall. One of the areas I really see, and I have begun to see over the last several years, is the increasing use of nurse practitioners in our dialysis units, in our nephrology clinics, in our hospital settings. And what that does is that will help to, I feel like, increase awareness of nephrology. It also helps to minimize the shortage of nephrologists across the country. And the care that nurse practitioners provide, I feel like, is more in-depth and more personal because they have a little more time to spend with those patients. And I truly see that enhancing our nephrology nursing across the country.
Very true. And I think there's been some studies that have shown that too.
Correct. Yes, I agree that there have been. And I think we'll continue to see more studies coming out about how that improves the outcomes for our patients.
Excellent. How did your work with ANNA influence your career?
Oh, and this is where I get all mushy, so I'm sorry. I have made some of the best friends over the years because of ANNA and the people that I've met, the people that I've had that have mentored me professionally and personally. I just can't even begin to describe what that means to me. That has helped me to grow as a person. It's helped me to grow as an employee where I work. It's also helped to grow me as a leader within ANNA. And I certainly could not have accomplished 99% of what I've done within ANNA without the encouragement and support and mentorship of all the people that I've met through the association. And I truly encourage everyone to get involved. If you're not already a member of ANNA, become a member of ANNA. If you're not already involved in your chapter, become involved with your chapter. Become a leader, whether it's working on a spin group or working with the assist team who helps chapters, or become a member on a committee. There is so much to learn, and it truly has enhanced my career way beyond my wildest expectations.
Well, Cindy, I really want to thank you for your service and your leadership as president of ANNA and for allowing us to interview today. So thank you so much for taking the time.
You're welcome. It was my honor.
The American Nephrology Nurses Association's 50th anniversary podcast series is brought to you by the Nephrology Nursing Journal, the official journal of the American Nephrology Nurses Association. This series is owned and produced by the American Nephrology Nurses Association. All rights reserved. No portion of this podcast may be used without written permission. For archived episodes of this podcast and to learn more about the American Nephrology Nurses Association, visit the association's website at annanurse.org. You can also subscribe to this podcast on iTunes, Google Play Music, Spotify, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, our hosting site Spreaker, and other various podcast delivery services.